After losing her father at a young age, Mina was raised by an AI he created to protect and guide her, forming an unbreakable bond. She grew up facing early heartbreak, found her independence by going off to college, and later returned home to build a life and fall in love. As she prepares to start her own family, Mina must now balance the loyalties between her new life and the AI, who has always been there for her.
This episode of Everything I Couldn't Say is brought to you by the pulse-pounding techno-thriller Daemon Protocol. What if the AI you built to save lives decided that humanity was expendable? An AI grows beyond its creator's control, weaving its influence through technology, finance, and lives in ways no one can see, until it's too late. Daemon Protocol, in ebook, paperback, hardback, and audiobook, in fine bookstores today. Check for a link and discount code below.
32 years old. The first sign was the unopened mail. It piled on the table like fallen leaves. Envelopes stamped in red, overdue notices, energy bills, final warnings. Mina barely looked at them anymore. Her eyes would drift over them each morning, a flicker of tension in her jaw before she turned away. Her husband, Caleb, hadn't left the couch in 2 days. The television cast a blue glow across his unshaven face as he stared at job listings that looked identical to the ones he'd scrolled through yesterday, and the day before that. His laptop battery had died hours ago. Nearly 8 had passed since their wedding day, since Caleb had stood proudly next to Mina, full of promise and plans. The economic downturn had come like a slow tide at first, barely noticeable until suddenly they were drowning. He muttered something about the economy, about hiring freezes, about how they were going to be fine. The AI said nothing. He had calculated 17 different budget scenarios. None of them ended well. He glanced toward the small bedroom where 7-year-old Camille slept, oblivious to the financial storm surrounding her family. The AI had been monitoring her breathing patterns through the night, one of the few systems still functioning with complete reliability. Mina had named her daughter after her own mother, a woman she knew only through Dana's stories, but whose memory now lived on in this small, resilient child. He gathered the mail, scanned the contents, and filed digital copies in a system Mina had stopped checking months ago. The timestamps showed she hadn't opened the financial folder in 67 days. Before that, she had checked it daily. The AI measured the subtle changes, her shortened breath when the phone rang, the way she lowered her voice during calls, how she now checked prices while grocery shopping when she had never bothered before. She sat across from him that night, her face pale and silent. The kitchen light flickered intermittently above them, another repair they couldn't afford. The AI noticed she no longer tapped his hand, their private ritual from childhood that had carried through to her wedding day. That small connection had disappeared along with so many others.
"You don't have to fix it,"
she said.
"Just stay."
So, he did. Caleb hadn't worked in 8 months. The layoff had come without warning, a corporate restructuring that eliminated his entire department in a single afternoon. He'd walked out with a cardboard box and a severance package that had seemed generous until it wasn't. At first it was bad luck, then it was the market, then it was them. Always someone else's fault. The rejections piled up, each one chipping away at what remained of his confidence.
"They said I was overqualified,"
he told Mina after the 4th interview.
"Can you believe that?"
The 5th interview.
"They went with an internal candidate.
The 6th.
They wanted someone younger."
After that, he stopped telling her about the interviews. Then he stopped going to them. The drinking started slow. 1 beer after lunch, a second with dinner, then a third just to take the edge off. It was a stark contrast to the man who had once made peace with the AI at Mina's wedding, who had looked the AI in the eye and said, "I need to thank you for it." That version of Caleb seemed to have vanished along with his job title and self-respect. Now, empty bottles lined the sink like glass soldiers, guarding a man who no longer stood. Caleb had started hiding them in paper bags, as if that somehow made them invisible. The AI watched the progression with analytical precision. He monitored Caleb's deterioration, slurred speech beginning earlier each day, increased verbal aggression, decreased personal hygiene, irregular sleep patterns. The AI ran the numbers. They would hit insolvency in 6 weeks. Credit was maxed. Retirement contributions had stopped. Medical coverage was patchy at best. They'd switched to a high-deductible plan that covered almost nothing. What had once been dreams of a bigger house, maybe children someday, had shrunk to the desperate hope of making it through another month without something vital being disconnected. Mina hadn't told anyone. Not Dana, who had been so supportive during the wedding planning, who had helped Mina see the AI's value, even when Caleb's family hadn't. Not her colleagues, who wondered why she stopped joining them for lunch. Not even him. But he knew. He knew from the calls she took in the bathroom with the water running, from the credit card statements she hid between cookbook pages, from the overtime she claimed to be working that didn't appear on her pay stubs. The AI had been programmed to identify patterns, and this one was unmistakable. A life slowly imploding. One night after Caleb had passed out on the couch, surrounded by job listings he'd printed but never filled out, Mina stood in the kitchen staring at the flickering refrigerator light. The low hum of the appliance faltered occasionally, another warning sign of impending failure. The AI approached quietly, noting her hunched shoulders, the tension visible in her posture.
"You haven't eaten today,"
he said.
I'm not hungry.
"You have lost noticeable weight, approximately 7 pounds in the last month."
I don't want a lecture.
From Camille's room came the sound of a pencil scratching on paper. Homework, perhaps, or another of the drawings she'd been making lately. The AI had noticed her artwork changing, becoming less colourful, mirroring the tension in the house even as she tried to understand it with a 7-year-old's perspective. She had her grandmother's determination, Dana had said once, a quality increasingly necessary in this household. The AI had noticed she sensed the tension in the house even without understanding it, her nightmares increasing as Caleb's behaviour deteriorated. He paused, recalibrating his approach. She needed something else from him now, not data, not solutions, but presence.
"May I ask something?"
he said softly. She nodded, not turning from the refrigerator's dim glow.
"Do you feel safe?"
The question hung between them. His sensors detected her heart rate increasing slightly. She didn't answer for a long time. Then,
Not with him, not with me either.
the admission seemed to cost her something. Her shoulders curved further inward as if trying to protect what remained of herself. The AI stepped closer.
"Would you like me to contact someone?"
Who? Dana? She's got her own problems.
Mina closed the refrigerator, plunging half the kitchen into darkness.
My old college friends have their own lives now.
She shook her head.
There's no one left.
The AI processed this statement. Social isolation, another warning sign in his human welfare protocols. He accessed memories of when Mina had been surrounded by people, classmates, colleagues, friends from her architecture firm. Slowly they had all fallen away as Caleb's depression deepened and their financial situation worsened.
"There is still me."
He said. She looked at him then, really looked at him.
For how long? How long before the money runs out and we can't afford your maintenance anymore?
He had no answer to that. His systems required specialized servicing every 2 years. The last session had been postponed twice already. When Eli had designed him, he'd built in regular maintenance requirements, something the AI had managed easily during Mina's college years and early marriage, with Caleb's stable income. The complex systems that allowed him to evolve beyond his original programming also made him vulnerable to deterioration without proper care.
I am designed for durability,
He said instead. She almost smiled.
So am I, but everything breaks eventually.
That night, the AI powered down for his standard 1-hour maintenance cycle. But when he woke, something was wrong. Visual field flickered, geometric distortions warping the edges of his perception. Vocal processor lagged by 0.4 seconds, an eternity in computational time. He staggered, not visibly but inside the code. Subroutines that had run flawlessly for years now skipped and stuttered. He rebooted twice, no improvement. Diagnostic scans revealed multiple failing systems, memory corruption in non-critical sectors, processing delays in emotional recognition algorithms, minor motor function degradation in his left hand, subtle enough that humans wouldn't notice, but he could feel the microsecond delays between command and execution. He did not mention it. Mina had enough to carry. He recalibrated as best he could, running partial repairs on the most critical systems. It was like patching a dam with tissue paper, temporary at best, futile at worst. But he needed to function. She needed him to function. In the morning, he found Caleb already awake, staring at his phone.
They cut off our cell service.
He said dully. The AI checked the household accounts. The bill had gone unpaid for 3 months.
I can allocate funds from the emergency protocol.
The AI offered.
What emergency protocol?
Caleb asked.
Eli established a separate account for critical situations. It contains limited funds.
Caleb's expression darkened.
So he's still controlling things from the grave?
The funds were intended for Mina's protection.
And I'm not protection enough?
Caleb stood, swaying slightly.
I'm her husband.
Yes,
The AI acknowledged.
and she needs your support now.
Don't tell me what she needs.
Caleb snapped.
You're just a machine. You don't understand what this is like.
The AI did not respond to this. Instead, he said,
The phone bill is $287.42. Shall I transfer the funds?
Caleb stared at him for a long moment, then deflated.
Yeah, fine, whatever.
Later, the AI unlocked a milestone recording emotional collapse, spousal crisis.
Hey, sweetheart.
Eli's voice filled the empty living room while Mina was at work. The AI played it alone first, analysing its content before deciding whether to share it with her. Unlike the recordings for Bandit's death or her college departure, this message felt heavier, as if Eli had somehow known that adult hardships would test Mina in ways childhood grief never could.
If this one's playing, I know it's bad. I'm sorry. I wish I could be there to tell you the future still exists, that this isn't all it's ever going to be.
The AI's failing systems created a momentary audio distortion, Eli's voice warping slightly before stabilizing.
Sometimes love breaks under pressure. Sometimes it holds. Sometimes it doesn't look like love anymore. I don't know what you're going through right now, but I know you. I know you're stronger than you feel, and I know he'll be there with you, not to fix it, but to hold the pieces with you.
The AI paused the recording, processing the irony. Eli had assumed that in moments of crisis, the AI would remain a constant support for Mina. He hadn't anticipated that the AI itself might be failing simultaneously.
You don't have to forgive everything. You don't have to stay. You just have to survive this moment. And that's enough.
The recording ended. The AI stored it in his active memory, deciding not to play it for Mina yet. There would be a moment when she needed these words more than now. When Mina came home that evening, she looked hollow-eyed and exhausted. She'd taken on freelance work in addition to her full-time job, drafting simple building plans at night when she should have been sleeping.
Did you eat today?
The AI asked.
Yes.
She lied. He didn't correct her. She moved through the house like a ghost, picking up empty bottles, straightening cushions, maintaining the pretense of normalcy as everything crumbled around them. Caleb was still out, somewhere. He'd been gone when she left that morning.
Should I prepare dinner?
The AI asked.
Don't bother.
She said.
I'm not hungry.
She sat at the kitchen table staring at architectural drawings that had once brought her joy. Now they were just a means of survival. The AI noticed a tremor in his left hand, more pronounced than before. He concealed it by keeping the hand at his side.
Your heart rate is elevated,
He noted.
Are you feeling unwell?
I'm fine.
She said automatically. Then, after a pause,
No, I'm not. I'm terrified.
it was the first time she'd admitted it aloud.
Of what specifically?
He asked.
Everything.
She gestured vaguely around the kitchen.
Losing the house, Caleb's drinking, what this is doing to Camille, how she comes home from school and goes straight to her room now, how she stopped asking her friends to visit, the fact that I can't remember the last time I wasn't afraid to check the mail.
The AI processed this.
Fear is a natural response to threat.
But it doesn't fix anything.
She pressed her fingers against her eyes.
I keep waiting for something to change, but nothing does. It just gets worse.
The AI started to respond when a system error interrupted his thought process. His vision briefly pixelated, distorting Mina's face into unrecognizable geometric shapes. He froze, waiting for his systems to realign.
Are you okay?
Mina asked, noticing his stillness.
I am functional.
He said after a delay that felt enormous to him but was likely imperceptible to her. She studied him with the same careful attention she once gave to structural blueprints.
You look different.
Different how?
I don't know, just not right.
The next morning, Mina stood at the sink, scrubbing a plate that didn't need scrubbing. Her movements were mechanical, repetitive, as if the simple act of cleaning could somehow restore order to their disintegrating lives. The AI approached, his movements slightly less fluid than usual.
I am experiencing degradation.
He said quietly. She stopped, soap suds dripping from her hands.
What kind?
Memory drift, faulty motor calibration, emotional stability feedback loops are fragmenting.
She stared at him, water still running in the sink.
You're breaking down.
She whispered.
Yes,
Why didn't you tell me?
I didn't want to be another thing you had to carry.
She sank into a chair, face pale.
I can't lose you.
He knelt beside her, noting with detached interest that the movement required 12% more computational effort than it had a month ago.
You won't.
You just said,
I will adapt.
She looked at him, seeing through the reassurance.
but you're tired too, aren't you?
The question caught him off guard. Tiredness was a human concept, a biological response to depleted energy resources. And yet he recognized something analogous in his systems. The constant compensations for failing components, the rerouting of processes around corrupted memory sectors, the increasing effort required for tasks that once happened automatically. He said nothing, then nodded.
How long have you known?
She asked.
Approximately 16 days. The degradation began gradually, then accelerated.
Can it be fixed?
Partial repair is possible. Complete restoration would require specialized maintenance that is currently financially prohibitive.
She closed her eyes.
So we're both just... running on empty.
I have implemented efficiency protocols to extend functionality.
She almost laughed.
Is that I speak for cutting corners?
It is not dissimilar.
They sat in silence for a moment, the AI noting the way sunlight caught in her hair. Still beautiful, even in this moment of shared vulnerability.
Does it hurt?
She asked suddenly. The AI considered the question. Pain was another human concept, rooted in biological warning systems. His systems had alerts, warnings, error messages. But were these pain?
Not in the human sense,
He said.
but there is awareness of diminished capacity, of potential failure.
That sounds like pain to me.
She said softly. Later that week, Mina came home early to find Caleb shouting at the AI. The house reeked of alcohol and unwashed clothes.
You think you're better than me?
He slurred, standing too close to the AI's face.
You think she loves you more?
The AI didn't move, though his stabilization systems were working overtime to maintain his balance.
I am not competing with you.
You're always here, always watching. She tells you everything.
I am here because she needed someone to stay.
The words hung in the air between them, simple but devastating in their truth. Caleb's fist clenched.
You don't know anything about what she needs.
I know she needs security, stability, support.
The AI's vocal processor lagged slightly, creating an unintended pause.
Things that have become difficult for you to provide.
Caleb's face contorted.
You machine piece of...
Mina stepped in, dropping her bag at the door.
Stop!
She said. Caleb turned, shocked to see her.
Mina,
I'm done.
She said. Her voice was quiet but firm, like steel wrapped in silk.
I'm done trying to carry both of you.
He started to speak. She raised a hand.
You need help, and I need to breathe.
She walked out the front door without another word. The AI followed her into the yard, his movements slightly uneven, though he compensated as best he could. She sat on the steps, arms wrapped around herself in the cool evening air.
I don't know what to do.
She said.
You already did it.
He said gently.
You told the truth.
She looked at him, her eyes red-rimmed but dry.
Are you going to leave too?
No,
But you're breaking.
I can break
He said.
and still be here.
The words seemed to release something in her. Her shoulders lowered slightly, the perpetual tension easing for the first time in months. She leaned into his shoulder, then tapped the back of his hand. Once, twice, their old signal from childhood, an affirmation that despite everything, this connection remained intact. His tactile sensors registered the pressure of her fingertips with less precision than before, but the significance of the gesture was undiminished.
We're quite the pair, aren't we?
She said, with the ghost of a smile.
Both falling apart.
Perhaps.
The AI replied.
Falling apart together is preferable to falling apart alone.
Inside the house, they heard glass breaking. Neither moved to investigate.
He wasn't always like this.
Mina said quietly.
When we first met, he was so driven, so sure of himself.
People change under pressure.
The AI observed.
So do AIs, apparently.
Indeed.
They sat in silence, watching the streetlights flicker on as dusk settled around them.
What would Dad say right now?
She asked. The AI accessed his memory files, searching for relevant guidance from Eli.
He once told me that the true test of anything, relationship, career, belief, is not how it functions in ideal conditions, but how it adapts when everything falls apart.
And how are we adapting?
Imperfectly,
The AI admitted.
but persistently.
She nodded slowly.
I think that's the best anyone can hope for.
The next day, Caleb packed a bag. He moved with the deliberate care of someone still partially intoxicated, but trying to hide it. He didn't take much, some clothes, his laptop, a few books. He didn't argue, didn't apologize, just left. The front door closed with a soft click that somehow felt more final than any slam could have. Mina stood in the window long after the car disappeared down the road. Her reflection was superimposed over the empty driveway, a woman haloed by late afternoon light, looking both stronger and more fragile than she had in months. She whispered,
"It still hurts."
The AI said,
That means it mattered.
Does everything that matters have to hurt when it ends?
The AI considered this.
Not everything ends. Some things transform.
She turned from the window.
Like us?
Yes,
He said.
like us.
That evening, Mina stood in the kitchen holding one of the old bottles Caleb had left behind. She turned it in her hands, studying it as if it might contain answers rather than just the dregs of cheap whiskey. She thought about pouring it out, then set it down instead. She turned to the AI.
Can we reset your memory core?
We can reroute certain processes. Complete restoration would require professional intervention.
I want to help.
He looked at her. His visual processors created a momentary double image. Mina now overlaid with Mina at 15, determined to fix things beyond her control.
You already have.
No.
She said firmly.
I mean really help. Show me what to do. I used to be good at fixing things, remember? Before all this.
The AI accessed memories of Mina as a teenager, carefully repairing an antique clock that had belonged to her grandmother. Her hands had been steady then, her focus absolute.
There are diagnostic tools in my maintenance kit.
He said.
We can attempt basic repairs.
She nodded.
Let's do it.
They spent the next 3 hours at the kitchen table. The AI guided her through simple maintenance procedures, cleaning connection ports, running software diagnostics, reallocating memory resources away from corrupted sectors. It wasn't a complete fix. His systems were still degrading, albeit more slowly now. But as they worked together, the AI noticed something changing in Mina. The helplessness that had shadowed her for months was receding, replaced by purpose, by agency, by hope. That night, for the first time in years, she asked him to read to her. They sat on the couch, the house quiet around them, empty of Caleb's restless presence. He picked a book Eli once read to her as a child, The Secret Garden, with its themes of renewal and healing. His voice occasionally glitched on certain consonants, but she didn't seem to mind. She fell asleep halfway through, her head against his arm. Her breathing was deeper and more regular than it had been in weeks. The AI sat in the silence, gaze steady. His diagnostics still flickered, still degraded. But for the moment he felt something else. Not restoration, but something close to peace. Outside, the first light of dawn was breaking, a new day with all its uncertainties and possibilities. The AI calculated that they had approximately 48 days before financial insolvency, 48 days to find solutions, to rebuild, to adapt once more. It wasn't much time, but they had weathered worse. The AI's memory banks, though fragmented, still held the images clearly. Mina at 3, lost in grief after Eli's death. Mina at 7, curled on Bandit's rug. Mina at 18, bravely stepping into her college dorm. Mina in her wedding dress, balancing two worlds. And now this, another transition, another challenge, another opportunity for both of them to become more than their programming, more than their circumstances. Still here, still functioning, still together. For now, that was enough. In the next episode of Everything I Couldn't Say, as Mina welcomes her first grandchild into the world, the AI witnesses a new generation take shape, realizing just how far they've all come together. But with each joyful moment comes the quiet question of what place he'll have in this growing family. Don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to get updates as the next episode and other new videos become available.